What is happening, y'all? Welcome, fam, to another great episode of our Smooth Club Podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Lord have mercy. It's my birthday, y'all, so I've been drinking.
What was the J?
Actually, my middle name is Jacob. So.
I thought it was.
I never knew. I never knew.
He looked like a Larry. I thought it was gonna be like Arrington, Larry, Gavin, or something. Keep going. You got it.
Always joining me, of course, is Mr. Funny Man, comedian, Ciroc Fox in the building.
Hey. We're celebrating, man. We just got done recording. Are we supposed to say that? We just got done recording our second radio show.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
And on top of that, y'all. Oh, and shout out to our boy, Mr. Cam Godley.
What's good people?
Hey, it's a wonderful day, y'all, because today is your boy's birthday. So of course I'm, starting the celebration a little early. Oh, thank you.
He didn't tell me nothing. He told me when I showed up today. He was in a casual conversation. He was like, "Yeah, I can't go to that today, my birthday," and kept going with the conversation like it wasn't nothing.
You always make it like it's my fault, y'all.
First of all,
Facebook notification states that it's not because everybody gets them.
Any friend that pays attention to the Facebook notification instead of just knowing, is it a real friend? Cam don't love you. He just saw.
Is that true, Cam?
He just saw the Facebook notification.
I will say it's not in my phone or anything. Like,
see, I would have saved it. It would have been a notification on my actual phone, not Facebook.
But in my defense, I just found out. Because
he don't tell nobody.
Facts.
He's a screwed up individual.
Next year, I got him.
First of all, y'all, I just don't like to be center of attention. Unlike Mr. Ciroc Fox, who likes to be the opposite.
He is a celebrity now. Our whole job is to be the center of attention.
Ciroc is that person to be like, out of my way, peasants.
Yes.
You want an autograph? Here's my stamp. Bam. Keep it going.
I definitely will have a stamp. It's a good idea. It saves time.
Who carries pens anymore?
Everyone gets the same exact autograph. Nobody's more special than the other.
Here's a special signature for you.
No, everyone gets a stamp. It's genius.
Man, but look, as you see, we continue to build up the setup, right? You see the live on air. I like that. It's like, adding a little pop of color.
Not this dude pointing out the background.
He couldn't let it be.
Yo, how? All right, my God.
He couldn't let it be.
Let me enjoy my birthday, y'all, because I'm just so hyped. We like Ciroc said, we had a great did a great show earlier today on our radio show, and now we're gonna have some fun with you all. Unfiltered, because again, with radio, you gotta be a little more corporate. So it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle, but we continue to learn. Hey, do us a favor to subscribe to our.
I'm sorry.
This man got Tourette's over here.
You gotta get it out your system. You gotta be holding it in the whole time.
Be sure, y'all, to continue to support the show by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Rugged Evo TV, downloading our podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Like I said, iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher. All the platforms. Please support the show.
Stitcher? What's Stitcher?
Stitcher is a podcast platform.
Oh, okay.
Stitcher it's pretty big. I forgot which company they're under, but they got some pretty known shows.
It sounds like very BDSM-y.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Like I said, you got it. You on it. Back to you.
This man is on it today.
No, it does.
He's
Stitcher
really on
doesn't sound BDSM-y. It doesn't sound BDSM-y. A little. It's BDSM-ish.
I don't think it just sounds like another. So anyway, we're on there. And also, too, if you want to support our radio show, our weekly radio show, Our Smooth Club Live, which airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91, the soul of VA. You can also, if you're not in the Hampton Roads area, hey, listen to us on WNSBonline.org or download the app. WNSB app is free, so be sure to continue to support the show. We got multiple avenues where you can listen to us.
That was the hardest I've ever given you during your intro. If you made it through, that was crazy.
Being friends with you, Ciroc, man, I've crossed a lot of barriers.
Are we friends? Are we? Because I didn't know it was your birthday today until today.
I didn't mean to hit a nerve.
Clearly, this is a thing.
It's a thing. Go ahead though. You got it.
I did not put my mixer in that. That is strong.
Me neither. I wish we need a white girl or something to like.
Why she had to be a white girl, Cam? Like
you never wanted to own a white girl? I mean, not own a white girl, but you know what I mean? Like you never wanted to like.
No. Let me get your close up for this one. It's on you, sir.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Hey, look, Cam. Block out this product placement too. Why you talking about that?
Solo, clear out.
No. It's like it's a sign. Like, okay, how many times have you seen like a movie set or a podcast set, or you going to the radio station and you see all these little black people walking around like mini-me's, doing all this like small stuff, right? Mm-hmm. For once, I just want to see a bunch of little mini white people doing the stuff for us, getting this coffee, shaking, lying about
the secretary
where they left their notes. Like, I just want, you know what I mean? I just want that culture, and then I want all the black people to be like, God damn it, it's the little white girl. She forgot the coffee. I just want that to happen, just once. We ain't got to have it a whole season.
we hear you. We definitely hear the words you're saying.
Oh my gosh! Well,
I don't mean it. I don't mean it. I take it back.
Look, we got to get it on and popping with some of these topics, man. First one I wanted to share with you all. Did y'all hear about so Paramount? They're they're exploring selling majority of their stake of BET. Paramount owns BET, if you don't know, and there's a few notable names that's interested in buying BET. Names like Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, as well as Diddy. So just to go on that portfolio of each individual one. Byron Allen, owner of the Allen Media Group, he also owns The Griot. He owns, so many more other channels, like small local channels, and his portfolios continue to build up to it's unreal, and he's really doing great things for as far as building up black media. Of course, Tyler Perry has a great portfolio.
Tyler Perry, known for the largest wig collection, known to production history. Shout out to Tyler Perry one more. Shout out to Tyler Perry.
That is true. I am a subscriber to a BET Plus, and I will say
it's his network.
It's his network.
Yeah.
You said it right there, Sarah. It's his network because you have all his stage plays, all of his TV shows, his films. I mean, me personally, I would love to see Tyler Perry own BT. I feel like he needs to own a channel. Out of all the stuff he has written and just
My
produced.
thing is, like, even if he doesn't own it, he owns it. Like, every movie that he's ever done is on BET Plus. And then some of the top earning shows on BET Plus, I've seen, what is it, The Oval?
The Oval, yep.
Yo, they got the White House looking mad ghetto in that show. I'm like, yo, this show is off the chain. And it has, like, my wife and her friends, like, it has her circle stuck. And each show, just like Sisters, what's the other one? Fatima?
Yep. Well, if y'all remember,
if
y'all remember the have and have-nots, because before Tyler Perry had basically signed on to have his shows mainly on BET, he was on Oprah Winfrey's network.
Yeah.
And my family was some have and have-not fanatic, and that was his show that he had brought up to. I'm talking. It was highly popular. He had a few more other programs on there. I think before even OWN, he was on TBS because he had House of Pain and then Meet the Browns. And
but now I think those series are now on BET Plus too.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Right, because this is his whole catalog, and he's continued to, bring out more.
So does that change if someone owns it? It's like, does that deal necessarily break when somebody else buys the station? They be like, all right, I'm done with Tyler Perry.
I don't think so, because for one, it would actually. That's a question I wouldn't really know, but for the person that invests in BET Plus, they're already going to keep what's their their biggest popular or most popular content on that platform. And Tyler Perry is not going anywhere. Madea is not going anywhere. Meet the Browns, they're not going anywhere. I mean, the movie that they had on Netflix, brought so many high ratings and stuff to that. So I would like to see Tyler Perry personally get that.
You know anybody else who was about to buy?
Diddy.
But
Diddy has Revolt. Diddy has his channel, but he doesn't have like a full-on network. But Revolt is a network.
Revolt is up there. I think they got a lot of radio stations right now, right? They got a lot of festivals and stuff.
Multiple festivals.
And then you see their name tatted on a few different things as far as production goes. It's like music videos, club events,
and then
stuff.
you know, a lot of their TV shows, because like I'm a huge fan of Drink Champs. Drink Champs is on Revolt as well.
Oh,
so I mean, he has a, you know, Diddy puts his hand in stuff that makes money. I will say that.
But I don't think I want Diddy to own BET.
I don't. Me either. I really don't. Now,
I mean, our pockets can't do nothing to stop anything in this conversation, but I think it'd be more entertaining to have either Byron or Tyler own.
Now, as far as capital wise or just money wise, I don't know. I think Byron might have a step ahead of Tyler, just because Byron has what he gets, he's been buying out a lot of stuff at a pretty quick pace. And he's also a former comedian, you know, turned, host. It was a comedy show he used to host where he used to sit down.
About Byron.
Oh, man. I can't remember that to save my life.
I know he got enough money to sponsor us, so.
Byron, if you're watching. Tyler, if you're watching. Hell, Diddy, if you're watching. Check us out.
Oh, now we just look thirsty. Now we just look like we're desperate. I don't want it. I do, but I mean, I don't, but I do. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not holding it. Hell, I do. I'm thirsty. My mouth is chapped. I'm thirsty. Please check us out. We got great content going on over here.
Lord.
But yeah, man. Again, shout out to those individuals who are, you know, building up black media. That's a conversation that I know is always in the midst when it comes to, you know, journalists, TV networks, and things like that, because there's black-owned businesses and companies that want to invest in, like, say, commercial or ads, and they're like, they're not getting the same treatment compared to other businesses on corporate platforms. So with so many people that will start their own
because
black
sometimes
media.
even with the money, you still can't get in the door.
Absolutely,
I am learning that.
Absolutely. And I think too, it helps change the narrative. Something that we always, you know, discuss on this show is changing the narrative. We want to keep on changing the narrative. You see guys, different backgrounds here on this show that hey, we just change the narrative. We're not trying to make anybody look bad. We're not trying to make our families, ourselves look bad, our brands. We're trying to continue to build and, again, change the narrative for the next person behind us that says, okay, look, if they can do it, I can do that too, and pursue that. So again, shout out to those, you know, Tyler Perry, Bryon Allen, Diddy, you know, all the people that's trying to invest in BET, because really BET was the first black that at least I can recall.
Ain't black right now, so
yeah, that is
give
true.
it to somebody of Negro stature.
I mean, so black entertainment television.
Just so we can make the name make sense.
Make the name make sense again.
So do we think if one of these guys buy it, they will change the format of BET? Or do we think it's just going to continue to be what it is?
Tyler will just improve it, but he won't change it. It's too beneficial the way things are right now.
For him, for sure.
Yeah. But Byron, I think he would. I think he might change up the.
I think Byron
maybe the aesthetic of the app. Maybe maybe prices might change a little bit to get more premiere featured films on there. Or BET Originals can definitely use a little bump in budget. So.
Well, I would definitely to add on to what Ciroc said. I remember when so there was this news channel called the Black News Channel. They had flopped after I think like 2 years. And people were they really enjoyed the content because all the anchors and reporters were people of color. And they mostly talked about stuff going on in the community, but just all around, current event and mainstream news. They flopped, and Byron Allen bought it, and that's when he created what they call the Griot. And he changed up the format of saying, okay, we're not going to be doing this whole kind of like partisan news. We're just gonna give them basic news. We're gonna have some podcasts and other platforms. He changed up the format because he's like, I want to get what the people want, what they want to see. He's big on showcasing HBCU sporting events that are not seen a lot on on ESPN or any other sports channel. So he does that. So I would say Byron Allen would change it. I mean, remember back in the past, BET used to have 106 and Park. They used to have BET News. They used to have, to me, BET was a lot better in the past than it is now.
I
even
miss
the award
music videos. I really miss music videos. I miss the regular music videos during like the basement time and like during that, it used to be an hour segment where it was just back-to-back music videos. There was no host. And And then they had that virtual host, so y'all might not remember Cedar World.
Yeah. I remember Cedar.
Y'all remember Cedar's World?
Remember Cedar.
That was a vibe. I really wanted to tap Cedar. I really wanted to get a little piece of
that. He always goes that extra step.
Yeah, I do.
Always.
But it's necessary. If there's people out there that's just like me that wanted to tap Cedar. But, and then, of course, BT Uncut. So those time frames, I really was on BET. Once that all went away, I stopped watching.
I was big on, like you said, the music videos and the BET Awards. The BET Awards was like, to me,
yeah. When they were
that was the they were throwing chairs. That might have been another one. That might have been another one. But that to me, that was that was Black Hollywood. That was the Oscars.
Yeah,
for me.
it was dope.
You showcase.
We tried too much to fit in. Now we try to fit in.
And it's not the same. I still watch it, but I think they're trying so hard to, like you said, just to fit in, and they're not being their original, their authentic self. And that's actually another question I want to bring up to you guys, which I wanted to kind of wait on for another show, but it just came up to my mind again.
Ain't no stopping you now. It's there.
What do y'all think, like, music genres today? Do you think they're falling off of like their originality? So, like, for example, a lot of so I'll say like R&B might start adding a little more pop into their R&B, or a little more hip hop, and not just strictly R&B. The same goes for country. Country's like, it's not just country anymore; it's country pop. Everything, I feel like pop is like the main money grabber or the main money maker now, and they kind of lose focus of like, what kind of artist really are you? Like, what genre are you really focusing on?
Pop is popular music. So popular music at this time right now is hip hop and R&B. So the reason why everything is starting to sound the same is because we're right now we're the pop culture. Like, black people is the pop culture. And so people who are finding lackluster in their numbers, they're going to naturally reach out and try to cross streams to help boost their own numbers. It just makes sense.
True.
So you hear more country music sounding a little bit more 808-ish.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, aren't you a country guy?
Yeah, you hear that jazz, and you hear that symphony. You hear those mixes just because everybody trying to get into that wave. That's just how music is. Whatever's the hot point at this point, like whatever's the banging, is always gonna get sampled from everybody else.
That's true.
So back in like the 80s, we were all like, hip hop was sampling rock and roll beats.
True.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Because
right. Run DMC. That's right.
80s was like rock and roll series. 80s was really rock and roll heavy. Like, that's when they were making millions and millions, biting backs off motherfuckers' heads. That was the time for them niggas.
So what you're saying is they haven't left it, but they're just following, like, as far as
just the natural progression of what music do.
I got you.
So pretty soon, who knows? Maybe in the next 5-10 years, country music is the thing on top. And I guarantee you, people are going to do that Nelly shit and sample country beats and rap over them.
You got a few popular country artists that are black that do collab with other artists. Cam, you got anything to kind of add on to this?
I mean, there have always been different variations of every music style. So, like, even with it, if we're just talking about hip hop, you have the more popular stuff, you have the sing-songy stuff, you have the book bag stuff. There's always different variations. I guess we notice it more when those variations go more popular and they grow to a larger audience. So this is nothing new. Like, even country, like during Black History Month, I think it was Shade Room, they kept putting up like black country artists, and it was like they did it like 4 times, 10 artists a post or something like that. I had no idea there were that many black country artists, and
killing it too, not just like in their basement recording, but actually making bread.
And their sound is a little different than what, I mean, even with country, there's different sounds within country. But I guess I say that all to say, like, there has always been variation. So this is just where we've been.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Now you have that unlimited access to it too. Like, with just a couple searches, you can find these subcategories of subcategories.
There's so many subcategories.
It's so many.
The Grammy Awards, they've added so many. That's why they cannot give you all the categories in a televised
Right now,
show.
I'm listening to this guy called Big X Plug. Right, he's an artist from Texas. Is this heavyweight guy? He could use some health plans in his life. But he is rapping like dude, it sounds so cold, but I think he's a gang affiliate. And every other word I do believe is some type of threat towards his ops. But it's so poetic. It's so good. It's so good.
Do you think when he goes into different states and cities, he gotta make sure
he gotta check in?
He gotta check in.
Hey, y'all gotta make sure you listen to the radio show. I hope they catch it. Will this air after? What is it? Oh,
no,
it will.
It will. Okay.
Y'all gotta catch the radio show at 12.
This airs before the radio show, though.
Okay.
Does
it?
it?
Yeah. This airs before. So
okay.
Good.
So when tune into that catch-in episode, that catch-in segment at the end of our Hot 91 show. It'll be worth it.
Leave the mic alone, man.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
Keep touching the mic. Thinking
I don't know. It's like every time it goes further, I just want to make sure y'all hear me. My bad. Y'all can hear me. Y'all good?
All I hear is.
I ain't never took off his headphones. Hey,
I know, right? I thought he was about to dang, is Cam about to swing? I'm like, what did I do?
Y'all know that scene in Boys in the Hood where Ice Cube was like, "Do we got a problem?" That's what Cam did just now.
Hey, low key, my face was not like my face just changed. I'm like,
yeah.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
You good? We hear you clearly. Sir.
Okay, perfect.
Sound travels.
Perfect. Well, look, y'all. Look, we gonna take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, of
it's
course,
my segment time.
It's gonna be Ciroc segment time when we come back from these commercial breaks. Hey, you tune into our Smooth Club podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
I'm a master of my mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. This is the only chair I'll volunteer to sit in. Spinning and spinning. Each loop past the mirror, I see a better me in true destiny. Confidence is key, so these 2-week cleanups won't be memories. Hey, barber, do you think it's possible to reshape the temple that holds my thoughts? Shape up in the hub makes me bold my walk, cause sometimes a lineup could be your savior. Do you think it's ironic that I can monetize my work when I stick to the master plan and get my taper? No more thoughts of getting burned by the system, and this new product doesn't burn my taper. Thank you. Let's normalize uncovering our bodies from that sheet, and we look stunning when it comes off, because we are masters of our mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. Each cut allows more and more room to grow.
Ciroc, you were saying, sir, not Kevin Samuel.
Anyway, all right. So the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, gentlemen, we all seen this movie, right? Mm-hmm. We've all seen it. It's when
cult classic.
Martin Lawrence, he's in this love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to choose up between the girl who I don't even know her name.
Well, the girl that he ends up going played by Regina King.
Regina King.
And then Lynn Whitfield. Lynn Whitfield
was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So he chose Regina King, right?
Yeah.
Over.
So Regina King's character was somebody that he was with, grew up in the neighborhood with.
A bum. Regina King was playing a bum girl, and he chose her over the girl who I thought was Angela Bassett.
Yes,
that is
totally different
crazy
person.
To me.
Lynn Whitfield on that movie had plenty of paper. She basically built her own wealth on her own.
She catered to this man. She cooked for him. She shopped for him. She brought cars to him.
She didn't own a car. She had a limo.
She brought a limo for this man. And he gonna choose the girl who can't even afford her own KFC bucket? That is insane to me. KFC. He chose wrong. KFC and we need to talk about that right now. Martin Lawrence chose wrong in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And I don't care how old the movie is. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I don't care if it was filmed before I was born. I don't care. I just saw a rerun of it. And I'm heated that he chose Regina King.
You know what? Oh, that's a tough
Choose
one.
up. You would have chose Regina King?
No.
Exactly.
Because I'm sorry, I'm big on legacy wealth. I'm big on the wealth aspect. Yeah. And she treated, but here's the thing though, in that movie, because Martin did her wrong, she snapped to the verge of wanting to kill this person, right?
She would have never had to snap with me.
But that's the thing though.
Told that rich ass up.
But that's the thing though. It would have even if he would have stayed with her, when would it would have came up sooner, somewhere.
Her craziness?
Hell yeah.
No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have.
I don't know.
No, it wouldn't. I
Forget her birthday by accident.
Man.
You be hanging up somewhere. I mean,
I don't forget birthdays. They got iPhones with reminders now. I would have been on it. Her crazy ass wouldn't have had to wait for me with the cake.
Birthday, damn it.
I didn't forget if I never
knew.
knew.
Facebook notified.
I never knew. You never said anything.
Anyways, no, I mean,
this is what's gonna break us up, y'all.
It really is.
This is it. This is definitely it.
This band of offspring.
Grand opening, grand closing.
We say that every recording,
but because it's the truth. It's the truth.
Martin Lawrence chose wrong.
But he did though, because I mean, he betrayed this lady who really, she bent over back, like you said, bought him gifts, catered to him 24/7, and she did him wrong. He
chose a girl who wasn't even feeling him like that until he got like somewhat serious with until he was like
he got a job. Basically, he got a job.
Right.
Okay, now I can
like, all right, now Martin coming up. Now she want to be all like.
And see, Martin was the bum, and a rich person said, "You know what? I accept you." And because I'm looking at the build up. Okay,
right.
See how I am now. But
she was like, "Baby, you can own the club." Did you a little bit.
Okay, that's
a little bit.
That's
not all the way. Pre-com. Listen, all I'm saying is
I wasn't gonna say anything, Cam. I wasn't gonna say anything.
All I'm saying is, if a woman come up to you, says, "I see potential in you, King. I'm gonna let you get your own club. You don't need to be worrying about reporting back into another motherfucker. I'm gonna get you your own clothes. You got your own driver. You got your own spot. You about to be and you get to hump my old ass. I'm low-key
I'm thinking of what Chris Rock had mentioned in his special when he said, "Now look, if Beyonce worked at Burger King, she could still pull off Jay-Z. But if Jay-Z worked at Burger King, it's a whole different story."
Come on,
so
now.
basically, Beyonce, grabbed Jay-Z.
He was a club promoter. Mm-hmm.
He's already there. He's already pretty much there.
And he could have been a club owner. By himself, not with some other brother and some old dude talking about Chocolate City. No, you could have had Martin's World. You could have had whatever club.
Marty, what's that? You could have had that.
Choose up, Kings.
Ken, what you think, man? What you think on this one?
I honestly don't even remember the movie. I saw it long ago, and I don't even think I saw it all the way through. To be honest with you,
man,
so
Cam saw it when it first came out. Cam saw it. That's it. I'm not seeing it.
Pretty much.
Because it was in the late '90s, early 2000s. Late '90s.
I'm not sure. I just know that the outrage feels today.
It was like mid to late '90s, because it was out when Martin was still on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. It was definitely a cult classic. It's funny, the more I think about the movie, the more I'm like, damn, Bobby Brown was in this movie. And Bobby Brown played his ass off in that movie. Like, Bobby Brown was actually a great actor.
Friend.
Wasn't he Bobby Brown in the movie? Not Bobby Brown, but he was playing a Bobby Brown
he was
type
playing
role,
a Bobby Brown type person.
Yeah, for sure.
He was, but he played, I mean, it was still good though.
Was it before Whitney? Was it before Whitney or after?
Nah, I think he was
that was. I'm pretty sure he was with.
He was.
I think
he was with Whitney.
They go way.
Because I think he did that movie, and she might have been working during the movie.
But he didn't look like he was on cocaine. He did.
Bobby would.
He had
admit,
his moments.
Bobby will admit cocaine really wasn't his thing. It was alcohol. Bobby loved that.
Okay.
He loved that vodka.
So that cocaine was
Yes.
So we not gonna say it. All right.
We just gonna leave that where it is.
Okay.
It's not newfound territory here.
It's not. But I don't like the feeling. I don't like we have to tiptoe that Whitney did cocaine. Like, just because she was Brandy's fairy godmother, don't mean she didn't have a little fairy dust on her nose.
The powdered donuts.
Hold on, this is Ciroc ISO Cam right now. Go for it, sir. All
I'm saying is, why did we tiptoe around the fact that Whitney Houston did cocaine like that? Like, every time I'm talking about Whitney Houston in a black setting.
Because cancel culture, damn it.
I say, yeah, but what about that? How come nobody, we had this whole conversation, but nobody talk about this cocaine?
I think because she's gone now. I think that's that's why.
I don't even think
is
it's
it
because
Rick James gone?
No, it's not even the fact that she's gone. Because I kid you not, it was it was a story where CeCe Winans was
CeCe Winans did the cocaine?
No, CeCe Winans did not do cocaine.
Oh.
Dear God. But CeCe Winans was one of Whitney Houston's best friends, and CeCe Winans during a sermon had said that she did not want to do the song "I Am Every Woman," or she acknowledged that she didn't want to be featured in that because, based on her faith, "I Am Every Woman" was sharing some like demonic like vibe because
I need to remember the words of that.
Well, because in some of the lyrics, "I'll put a spell on you," or no, I'm sorry, yeah. I'll cast a spell, something like that was in that song, and I honestly, I mean, I have different views on that.
And you think the spell was cocaine? Like,
no.
what are we?
I don't understand what.
No,
what does this have to do with Wendy's cocaine usage?
Because when she acknowledged that, a lot of people criticized and wanted to cancel out CeCe Winans. So what I'm saying is, you're saying why are we tiptoeing the fact that Whitney is doing the cocaine? I'm like, because the community as a whole will always say, don't say nothing bad about. It's just like saying something bad about Luther. Don't you say nothing bad about Luther, even if he was alive.
What did Luther do?
Nothing. But I'm just saying. I'm just using that as an example
because I say it. What did Luther do?
He didn't
Luther didn't do nothing.
Luther didn't do anything.
When he did cocaine, what Luther do?
Luther did nothing. Luther was Luther. He lost weight. He put weight back on. That's all Luther did.
I'm just saying
impulsive.
I'm just saying the fact that Whitney has such a huge the black community adores Whitney Houston.
Listen,
and you say anything that
I
is
love
negative.
Cinderella just like anybody else.
Oh, absolutely.
But when we're talking about somebody's legacy, we can't just forget the thing that fueled it. We can't just forget you know what I mean? That's
Wait.
Yes, cocaine fueled that.
No.
Come on,
have you seen some of them live concerts when she was performing?
Well, what I'm saying is Whitney was huge before we knew she did. Like before she was this.
Before we knew she did cocaine.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
She was doing cocaine for a minute. She was doing cocaine for a long time. Before we found out.
Fair point.
And that cocaine.
Fair point.
Some of the live performances, she was.
my man wildin'. Well, but I will say though, when Whitney did a performance for like Michael Jackson, and she had she lost a lot of weight. She looked real like bone skinny. People were like, okay, something's up, and they were bringing up, okay, that's a drug. That's probably the aftermath.
This is a good reason why I'm so vocal about it is because a lot of today's like hip hop and R&B artists are straight up addicts, pill popping.
Hey, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
And we tiptoe around the fact like it's just normal. But when these dudes is overdosing on IG Live, you can't help but go back to your history and remember that some of our superstars was doing this in front of us and we just ignored it.
Remember when there was a period where Lil Wayne will have like bad seizures pretty often, like not more than once. There was a period.
Yeah.
And like he does he have probably something wrong with his health wise? Yes, but I'm saying he's also admitted, or he's talks about like doing codeine. Like a lot of rappers do that, like codeine and come on.
I was so vocal when I was going to comedy clubs in the beginning. I was so vocal on getting Lil Wayne to stop doing like because when I saw his line and this his edges don't never fall out like that. But how often do you say like, oh yeah, that dude lost his edges? Lil Wayne lost his edges, his sides, his back edges. All that.
Look. But you're on this, Ciroc, though, because we're always reading about, say, an upcoming or a popular rapper losing their life, not even making 30.
If you love these people, you need to be hype as hell about getting them to stop.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like if we were this upset, if everyone was like reacting like me about Whitney doing cocaine, we could have swayed some shit. I know people say we can't. But we can, as like fans, as like, come on, we sway shit all the time when we want to.
And that's why so many people continue to, regardless of how Bobby Brown might sound or he can't dance like his move, they're still gonna go support because they know, Bobby, this was not on you. Like, really, for the longest, people were saying, oh, God, Bobby's the reason why Whitney got on.
I grew up with that rhetoric. Yeah, my mom would always tell me, Bobby ruined Whitney.
That's what we always learn. They always put it on Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby clearly was drinking,
now who do you blame with these current people? Who's Lil Wayne's Bobby? What's that rapper that overdosed before he was even 20?
Oh, no, these kids well, not kids in respects to Lil Wayne, but nah, they just doing it. Like we just have a generation full of drug takers,
Mac Miller,
pill poppers.
We lost Mac Miller.
Was that the drugs?
That
Oh yeah.
Was Mac Miller the drugs?
It was an OD. I think was his fentanyl? I don't know. I don't remember his fentanyl.
But it was overdose or something. I can't remember which it was, but it was definitely an overdose or something. But I mean,
one of Lil Wayne's lyrics is, "I'm a pill popping animal, syrup sipping nigga." I'm a dude,
and all that's real.
And all of it's real.
Yeah.
Now the only person I don't believe who be going ham on that drug usage is Future, but his music encourages it.
His music feels like, and I've never done a drug in my day of my life, but listening to his music, the melodic shit going over and over and over, you just feel like
you feel like you on drugs.
Absolutely.
And look, I'm just looking at a list, fellas. Just because
it got to be a way for us to make it lame.
I'm looking at 7 rappers that has died on overdose. Overdose. Number 1 is DMX. 2 is Juice WRLD. 3 is Mac Miller.
Juice WRLD didn't even make it to 25, did he?
Probably not.
21 years old.
Yeah.
Mac Miller, 28. Yeah, no.
And all 26 the fans years old. Knew these people took drugs.
Lil Peep. I don't know who this person is. So
I don't know who Lil Peep is. But R.I.P.
Yeah, but.
And I'm sure he had fans.
Shock G had passed away, but he was in his 50s.
I don't think I realized his was a drug overdose. But
he was 50. He was 57.
Pimp C overdose?
57 years old. So. Methamphetamine. It was fentanyl, alcohol, and methamphetamine. It's
about time that we start roasting these motherfuckers out of it. Like, we need to start doing peer pressure out of drugs.
Because they have so much ahead of them. They have so much stuff going, for them. And the fact of the matter is, it's just like.
I just feel it's too far going, man.
I mean,
like, ain't no bringing it back. It's just part of the culture.
I feel like that's just what it is. Yeah.
Ain't no stopping it.
And it's crazy because we talk about, back in my day. I feel like I should have a back in my day section of the pod. We'll discuss that after.
You can have a back. You hit that age. You hit that age where you can have a back in my day.
way back then, drug users would get shamed. Like, it wasn't cool to do drugs and do all these things that they're doing today. But now it's like the cool thing to do. So I don't know.
It's a whole rap song right now about perk 30s. I didn't pop 2 perk 30s.
That's crazy. That's
60s,
crazy.
I didn't pop 2.
And and I'm not
bragging.
I'm no historian when it comes to hip hop, but I will say if you go back we were talking about 80s, 90s era, Ice Cube is still here. Run DMC is still here. Who else am I missing? LL Cool J is still here. Ice-T is still here. Busta's still here. There's so many greats that are still here because look, I party here and there, but
they survived so those people, they went through the crack epidemic. It wasn't the cocaine, it was the crack epidemic.
Right.
Those people during that era, they were shaming crackheads.
Exactly.
They would be like, "Oh, no mental health, that's a crackhead."
Exactly.
Now it's, "Oh yeah, that's my dude. He a pillhead." What?
Because they were trying to put an end to it so it wouldn't continue, but for some reason, people are more attracted to okay, when we party, we gotta do drugs while we party.
The only good thing about a crackhead is they can wash your car, cut your grass, do your laundry, and fix your roof in less than 30 minutes for $100. That's the only positive thing. Other than that, we phase crackheads out of popularity pretty quick.
Ciroc said,
it became uncool.
Ciroc said, I gotta get the Escalade clean. How much you pay for that? $15.
It became uncool to be a crackhead fast. We need to find a way to make it uncool for these syrup sipping, pill popping.
I'm all in. I mean,
it got to be a way to make it uncool.
It has to. It has to.
And if I got to roast, I feel like anybody who drink and take pills all day like that, they got holes in their drawers because you can't have a solid pair of underwear living that life. You shit too much.
Ciroc ISO. Ciroc
ISO. I mean, but it's the truth though, and I mean, I'm glad we talk about this because again, for people that are tuning, that support the show, look, we're not just here to always have fun. We want to throw some gems that you can also be informed, entertained, of course, but informed as well. And we want to help change that narrative because we know that there's a lot of young individuals that are truly talented that are losing their life 24/7. And see, here's the other thing that pissed me off. When they read a story like that, then other people are like, that's all they had going for them. Like, there's people that are like, that's all they had going for them. No, that's not. But at the end of it, hey, we got to keep on talking about it. We really have to keep on talking about it.
That's why I bring it up Whitney. We starting it with Whitney. So just to make people mad and watch it, just to piss people off and say, yes, Whitney did cocaine. So does your favorite artist now. Do something about it. That's all I'm saying. Do something.
Man.
I feel like if you do SERP, if you drink SERP, you dream about bestiality. Like I'm gonna make it. I'm just gonna keep coming up with stuff. Like
I need a banner that anytime Ciroc says something wild, it's like
please do.
This man just
no
equated purple drink to bestiality and didn't
I don't
even
know what you want me to do. I'm tired of my favorite musicians dying because they think they got this never-ending cough.
This is true.
This never-ending
this
cold.
is true.
But it's
true,
the truth because let's say when we all saw, let's be real, when we all saw DMX pick up that weight, we're like, oh man, it's back. He's healthy.
Yeah.
Because I thought DMX was skinny, man. He was skinny and he was always getting himself in trouble. Now, I remember too. He was always passing out. He was always having. But when he put on some weight, okay, boom, he's making new music. You see him in a feature Tubi movie. You know, going back to the acting. Yeah, I said Tubi.
Yeah, I respect Tubi. Yeah, we had a consensus on Tubi.
Okay, thanks. But he's back, so we're thinking, okay, he's back. But again, addiction is tough. It's something that's
I get
extremely
it.
tough.
I get it. But influence is tougher, and the public and private and family and professional influence can always outweigh an addiction. To me, I feel like you can, if you really put pressure on the subject. Like, what makes a person just randomly say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do crack? Knowing what it's going to do to you.
I bet you if Kanye says what you're saying right now, I bet you will stop. Or I bet you will at least bring it up. I don't know.
I don't think anyone has enough influence, at least not one person.
Not by itself. Admittedly, I say
not by itself, but I feel like
itself.
it will build an impact on just because.
But he is right. I do feel like if Kanye West right now was to say, yo, drinking syrup is whack, there will be a whole generation who worship this man, who would start saying,
because we're not just talking about rappers dropping it down, but I'm talking like just young, because now this extends to like a lot of teens, committing suicide or like dying over fentanyl.
As much as we hate to admit it, and as much as we don't want to like,
I truly hate to admit
it. The celebrities influence a lot of what these dumbass
That's the truth.
kids
They do.
It's the truth.
No, absolutely. And I think the celebrities are a big reason as to why these kids are doing the drugs. But I personally feel like it's already
the motion is
done.
just too deep.
Exactly. It's just like violence. Like we can. I mean it's kind of a crappy way to look at it, but I feel like it's just too far gone at this point.
Even if it's too far gone, this will be my final statement on it. Even if it is too far gone, I don't think that we should stop the pressure.
Agreed. No,
like,
absolutely
even if,
agreed.
like, all right, say pill popping and syrup drinking goes out, there will be other drugs. There'll always be some futuristic drug to get. Hell, I smoke weed. So
you do?
Oh yeah, man! I'm a very avid marijuana.
Yeah, I know.
I smell like
look.
trees
That second
now.
hand has really been hitting me throughout the whole time.
That's not Dior. That is
it's
pink,
not Dior at all.
That's pink marmalade. That's what that strain is called. Pink marmalade.
Did y'all see Half Baked?
Yes.
When homie got up and said, I smoke weed, and they were like, boo this man! Boo! He was like, you ever suck dick for coke?
Yeah. But still, you feel like I should say that because, I don't want it to be hypocritical when people be like, well, you have your vice, da-da-da-da-da.
Facts.
All right, yeah, I do have my vice.
Facts.
I smoke weed. My wife drinks coffee. My kid drinks caffeine. Like, we all have our drug of choice.
Right.
But my drug of choice is not having me in some alley sucking a 40-year-old man's penis for money for said weed. You get what I'm saying?
I hope not.
Like, if I want to smoke weed and I don't have weed, I just be like, I guess I ain't going to have no weed today. I'm not going to be like, let me go look for a dick. I'm out of weed.
Look, Cam.
Somebody give me a penis.
Cam Surratt be like one of them like,
that's crazy.
Hey, let me see what old dude's doing down there.
Yeah, no.
Damn, I know Mr. Charlie, he gonna at least give me 20.
Yeah, anything that brings you to that level, you're right.
Unless you already enjoy sucking that, listen.
All right. So commercial. No,
we gotta include everybody. So if you gay and you find yourself eating pussy for $20, You are officially a crackhead. You Whitneying it up. You better chill. That's all I'm saying.
Whitney. All right, we're moving on.
I know, right? All right.
We are moving on.
Look, one more. Look, we gonna do another commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna have our last and final topic with the show. Again, you tune in to our Smooth Club podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
Never go fool Whitney.
An intelligent spin on the original gin, infused with the absolute best and natural ingredients to create a smooth taste for the gin explorer and the gin connoisseur. We strive to provide you with a truly ingenious gin experience.
All right, we're rolling.
All right, y'all. We back with more Our Smooth Club podcast. Look, guys, final topic of the day. We've had so much fun. Truly enjoying it. Again, it's my birthday, so
Yeah. Birthday sip.
Birthday sip.
Harrington turns 21. Congratulations.
28, but it's good. Mr. Funny Man over here. Mr. Funny Man. But yeah, we got our last convo to discuss, fellas. So I know y'all heard about this Bishop Lamar Whitehead, based out in New Jersey. So he was already viral because he was doing a live stream of one of his sermons and he was getting robbed. He was like, And first of all, the way he was getting robbed to me looked like this got to be staged. It didn't look. It looked, something looked unrealistic about it. And sure enough, it turns out it was staged. He was trying to, get, I guess, some money from the city at the time, or look for some, gifts, just, supporting his church. And it ended up being staged. Lamar Whitehead has had a past criminal record when it comes to, I think, taxes or fraud. And now he's back in the news facing fraud charges. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes real quick. He is facing fraud charges because he faked the bank. Hold on. There we go. He alleged faked bank records to finance a New Jersey mansion. Now, fellas, I always call out. I have a huge issue when it comes to like these so-called ministers and even mega pastors that take advantage of the poor, so they can have their own like self-wealth. Lamar Whitehead, the way the church looked, it like he had about 50 members. How the hell you got a mansion with 50 members? Either each member is a millionaire, and because he had a Rolls Royce, he had the jewelry, he got he'll go live in his freaking closet with like shoes, clothes, you name it, like hands down, like going crazy. And so I'm like, I hate to say I'm happy, but I'm happy that at least justice will be served, because there's a man that's taking advantage of the poor. So Lamar Whitehead was on, I believe, Marc Lamont Hill, journalist Marc Lamont Hill show. You just gonna go right in, huh? Oh, I mean,
didn't leave that man Cam with nothing to add.
Damn, like,
my bad,
Cam.
My bad.
Shot for 3.
Okay,
I'll play it.
No. Hey, look, y'all. Cam went after me with the mic thing, so this is my chance before we end it up. No, I'm joking.
This man, yeah. So,
I gotta work on my follow-throughs. I'm sorry.
We learning. No. But seriously speaking, yeah. He did a shout out to Marc Lamont, Temple alum. Everything you just said, I honestly didn't know much about this dude until he started popping up in different places because of the allegations and stuff like that. But he actually did an interview. I think this was a horrible idea, and we'll all see why in a moment. But yeah, he just seems like I don't know. I'll play the clip. You all will respond to it after.
Yeah.
Bet.
And here we go.
When I think about the fact that you have access to millions potentially of dollars in clothing, cars, and then when you add your home, you have the life of a multi-millionaire. Where do you get your money from?
Well, I am an entrepreneur, man. I'm very, I've been doing real estate over 20 years, and I do a lot of other legal things. I want to clear that up.
Like what? Like what, though? Give me some specifics. Give me some specifics, bro, because people will be like what? You do real estate, and when you say real estate, you mean flipping properties? You mean you have rentals? Yeah, how do you get money on real estate?
Real estate is multifaceted. You can flip properties, which I do, rentals, which I do. We into purchasing land, developing on land.
So, but when people check the public record, they'll be able to see that you buy and own property, commercial or residential. They'll be able to see that you flip property. They'll be able to see that you have an event. This is transparent and fully accessible to the public. Is that fair to say?
Of course, it's transparent, but however, you have to understand that when you buy investment properties, you don't buy it under your name. You buy it in corporations who own.
What corporation is yours under?
I can't get into all that, Mark, man, because I'm already being targeted, man. You want me to get here, put all my business out there?
Let's do something, because I want to assume you deserve the benefit of the doubt. You deserve the presumption of innocence. Let's assume that everything you're saying is true, that Mr. Belmonte is a liar, that he's exploiting his whiteness, that he's making use of a government that's targeting a young black bishop. Let's assume all of that is true. There's also somebody in your congregation who accused you of defrauding her of $90,000 from her retirement savings of at least 14 months beginning in April of 2020. The allegation being that you told her that it was an investment and at some point through text pivoted and said it was just a campaign contribution. Obviously, you have and I don't think we should ever hold people to who they were. And as Christians, I'm sure you believe that people always have the capacity to change. But you were convicted of identity theft in 2008 and served 5 years in correctional facility for that. So there is a history here, and there's some current allegations that have nothing to do with Mr. Belmonte. How do you respond to those?
How do I respond to it? So let's go back to 2006, where the Suffolk County who indicted me is one of, if not the most racist counties in the United States of America. Let's talk about how they hid all the evidence that would have exonerated me. Let's talk about how there was fake search warrants that the media don't know about. Yeah, now let's talk about the parishioner that I allegedly took $90,000 from. What if I told you, and I'm going to tell you the truth, she was never a parishioner, right? Once again, the media calls her.
Did she give you $90,000?
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Let's assume she's not a parishioner. Did she give you $90,000? Did she give you $90,000?
Anything as well. Her son was a parishioner. Her son was one of my members, and her son wanted.
Did he give you $90,000?
Brother, you gonna keep cutting me off, or you gonna let me finish?
Okay, because we're running out of time for the show, but again, I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth, of course.
So we'll come back then. So we'll come back because I'm not going to be bullied in any type of answering no questions. All right, the media has already made me into the media has already made me into a villain. Okay, and I'm not going to be forced to say something that's going to be against the truth.
What I think about the fact that you have.
All right, fellas.
Yo,
let me tell you.
So did he get $90,000?
Shout out to Marc Lamont Hill.
He didn't say he didn't.
Shout out to Marc Lamont Hill, because one thing I will say, you need journalists that put people's foot to the fire. Literally, you don't need sugar-coated journalists. Marc Lamont Hill is always gonna try. He's gonna push for those answers. And it's funny because Mark has said in 2008 as far as with the identity theft. So I'm reading up right here. He was arrested in 2006 for $2 million in identity theft scam and served 5 years and was released in 2013. So he said that for the past 20 years he's been in real estate.
So this is before he became.
Exactly. So he's talking about for the past 20 years I've been flipping houses or just working in real estate. Excuse me. He's been working in real estate. Sir.
That man was like, what's the company's name? What's the business?
He was like,
I can't put my business out there like that. What business owner says I can't put my business out there like that?
From 2006 to 2013, you were in prison. You were released in 2013. So I don't know where the 20 years comes from, but
hey, Ayrton, you sell beer care products, right? What type of business? What's the name of the business?
Don't worry about it. You asking too many questions. You asking too many questions.
You want people to find out where I sell my beer products,
bro? How heartbroken is it though? Like an elderly person or just anybody in general, will give almost majority of their savings, majority of their retirement to men, because there's multiple out there now. There's people right now that's on TV that's preaching right now that has a huge fan base. I'm not gonna call no names, but to me,
my response to it is, and it's very simple. It's very, very simple. Because if people are willing to give them the money, then let them give them the money. Any church or mega church or whatever you want to call them, religious organization, any church that makes over a certain amount of revenue a year needs to be taxed, so we don't have to have this fucking conversation anymore. I don't care what you do with your money. I don't care that you buy jets. I don't care that you buy mansions. I don't care that you buy cars. Pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes.
That's all I care about. And
I'm with you on that one.
And then we just, that tax money that gained from those mega churches, we come up with some type of community control program or community controlled force or some type of policing organization, so we can dub that money back to the community that these churches are in.
Would you believe, fellas, there's mega pastors out there. There's pastors in general that has net worths of like 700 million. That's the highest I've ever
And the only reason they're not getting taxed is because of Jesus. Jesus would want the wealth to be shared. I know my God.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Well, what is it? They just do the 10%? So you're saying?
I'm saying that church. So okay, if you
it's a tax write off because sometimes I ain't mean to cut you off.
You good.
I think, and this is just me, just like on a guessing game, but churches are looked upon as a nonprofit,
right?
So
I work. Coincidentally, I work in payroll, so I know that there is a certain way that parishioners get paid, right? And it's usually not subject to taxes. But I thought because as a church in itself, I thought it would be kind of like a business per se, where there is income and stuff like that. I know the individuals don't get charged, but I thought as a church, I don't want to use the word business, but it is kind of a business.
It's a business, but everything is an avenue from the nonprofit. So I will say this: you have ministers that will have, they might raise money for a shelter, or they might or some kind of home for people. So that's one avenue. They might have, they of course have missionaries, go all over the world, because that costs money as well for them to do that traveling. There's so many avenues. They might have bookstores within the church. They might have salons. They might have, they have so many. And so
I have contracts. I work directly with churches, a plethora of them. And so as a contractor with churches, the money that I make from that church gets taxed. But the money that's brought in from those donations, from those offerings, from those tithes, from those like little community like programs where they're either selling tickets to a petting zoo or selling books that the pastor wrote from the church or something like that, that's all untaxable. And what I'm saying is, if you're a nonprofit organization and you reach a certain threshold that maybe the people who control these laws all agree on, once you pass that threshold, you are now in a ridiculous bracket of money.
Facts.
That money should be taxed. Because other than that way these conversations of people getting all upset and like, oh my God, you're spending all this money on your planes.
Just think,
I pay my taxes, so what? That's why we can stop it.
You have 5,000 members. Each of those members give you $10 or $25, and that's just in one service, or just every on a weekly basis, and not weekly basis, because you still have Wednesdays is Bible study. They still do tithe and stuff during Bible study in this. So it's so many, and see, the IRS is always going to continue to go after the pastors, because the pastors they make themselves look guilty. When you see a minister rolling in a Rolls Royce,
they definitely do,
or living in a mansion, flying a private jet. Let me tell you something. I never met the Lord. I never met Jesus. But I'm pretty sure if Coach was available, he would fly it. I'm just saying, like,
my God don't ride Coach. He can ride business of first class. He can ride business of first class, just not a private jet. That's all I'm asking. Be reasonable. I'm not saying don't ride in nice, lavish things. You help guide your flock to a successful point. Congratulations.
Charter buses are not that pricey. Charter buses are not that
Hey, I'm not upset at that. But you shouldn't be spending millions on private jets. You should be spending millions on flying your flock out to private islands. That's the type of vibe you need. Facts. If you can afford these mansions, then you can afford to take maybe your ushers to Hawaii, take maybe your deacon board to here and do a conference, or what I mean, do something But don't go out and buy a $60,000 chain
not even
and
that.
expect us to be gravy with it.
Look at the pandemic. That whole 2021 households were suffering. $600 was not going to satisfy, be an added addition. Churches could have easily said, look, we're not making money either, but we have enough that we saved up. We can easily give back to our people that gave us money. But that was never talked about. That was never discussed. So
it's only a few instances where I see churches actually doing what they say they are. These churches are making $6-figure a year, but they're pushing out not 6-figure. They're making 7 figures. They're making 7 figures a year, but they're pushing out 6 figures a year. They're pushing out towards the community. They're keeping enough money for them to stay afloat and pay their staff members, and they're putting enough money out there back in the streets and back into their programs and their communities. So there are churches doing the right thing. But these Negroes, these clowns right here, look, if they want to do all that flaunting and stunting and all that shit, tax these motherfuckers so I don't have to care anymore. Tax them so they ain't got to make the fucking news anymore. I'm tired. Let these pimp pastors do their thing.
If you are a minister and you preach with a Louis Vuitton jumpsuit on or a jogging suit, I'm sorry. I question.
Let them do it. But definitely that IRS should be knocking on the door. IRS should be hitting that doot. Hey, your church brought in $90 million, nigga. It's time to talk. It's time to talk.
Hey, look, on that note, fellas, I just got to say again, this was an awesome. I always have a great time hanging with you guys. But again, this was the stories, the topics that we've discussed on this show. I hope people, take it to heart and do learn something from what we talk about. Look, y'all, we gonna end it off right here. Continue to party. At least I will, because this is not gonna be my last
I have
drink.
responsibilities. I'm officially fogging out a whole club. That club is tough too. I don't know if people have been doing this before, but we got this industrial machine that's gonna go of some of the primest, and then we're just giving it away for free because you know the law. We try to stay legal in Virginia.
Please do.
We try to follow all the legislation you guys there in Capitol Hill doing for us. Us weed smokers, we appreciate it, and we try to follow all the laws that you give us, all the legislation that you lay down. So we're just gonna give weed out for free. For free. We're gonna give it away. Each person is gonna give weed away or are gonna have the appropriate amount on them because hey, you guys is watching. You guys that make the laws, we're just following them. So all of us are gonna have the legal amount of marijuana on us and pass it out to our...
Look, that whole city gonna be like, whew, I'm walking a little funny. I'm feeling a little funny.
Yeah. I want, you have a lot of people in public office that follows you and loves you. And,
you do. That's why I'm not mentioning no names. I'm not mentioning
Yeah. I just want them to know that you're hanging out with a guy who, we do smoke a lot of weed. Don't get me wrong. We smoke a lot of weed. But we're following the law.
Look, trust me, so do they.
We are legal here. We try to do everything that you recommend us do. And if you ever see me on the wanted poster, it's only because of marijuana.
And bringing more people to the area and more money to the area.
Right. I brought a lot of money to head the road.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on now. Mess with the kid.
But look, we truly appreciate y'all. Continue to support the show. Again, look, support us on all platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Regular Evil TV. Download us on podcasts. We're available on all podcast platforms. And also, hey, check out our weekly radio show. For those that are not in the Hampton Roads area, hey, go to WNSBonline.org or download the free app, WNSB app. And if you are in Hampton Roads, hey, tune in every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB. Hot 91, the soul of VA. Look.
One more time, happy birthday.
Hey,
happy
appreciate
birthday,
it, y'all.
Anderson.
Appreciate it. It's been real with y'all. Hey, tune in next week. More with our Smooth Club podcast show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
Don't go fool with me.